What's going on, everybody? It's Spicy Topic, and in this video I wanted to talk about Tori's latest live where people thought that she was talking about Velvet. We will get into that. Now here's my thoughts. I think that Tori should have directed her snobbish information she has, her little whatever advice, and take that over to Nature Boy's panel, because the other week when she was on his panel, she dumbed down for him. She's a very intelligent woman and in college, military background, and she dumbed down for him and allowed him to talk over her multiple times. She even allows Nature Boy to separate her baby dad from her, block, I guess, convince Nubian or Musa to block her, to put a stumbling block in the way of him being a father to his daughter. She still refers to carbonation as if it's something knowledgeable. Even in this video, she has all this respect and revere for Nature Boy and carbonation, but yet she thinks she gonna come for Velvet, rather subliminally, low-key, humble, whatever. It's still nice nasty to me, and she can direct that. Since she's talking about Velvet, should direct the hate to herself, the focus to herself. Why don't you go direct that focus over there to Nature Boy's panel? Because he's keeping your baby, he's part of the reason your baby dad is not being a better father. If Nature Boy said, talk to Tori and go see your daughter, go talk to your daughter, go visit your daughter and come back, you know, Nubian, he would do that. He listens to Nature Boy. Nature Boy is convincing that man to stay away from your child, but yet you think you're going to come for Velvet? I don't get it. I think Velvet have every right and should speak her mind about Nature Boy. Tell everybody the man stink if he stinks. Tell everybody the man burning if he's burning. People need to know the truth, and I don't know why y'all don't want that out. Why are people so butthurt about people telling the truth? You want to be forgiving, and you want to be kind, generous to the wrong one. You being generous to him. Meanwhile, you could very well, have the baby dad talk to you, but Nature Boy won't let the man talk to you. Nature Boy will tell, if Nature Boy tells that man to talk to that baby, he would, but he's telling him not to. He's telling him to stay away. He's telling him when he can talk and when he can't, but yet you have revere for him. I don't get it, but let's get into this video.
In no way, shape, or form was I protecting Nature Boy or in any sense of that. None of that was happening at all. That's not what I was doing. I feel like I should have been more sensitive. I do this a lot. Like, I'll talk and I'll double back, and it's just because I'm learning to communicate in a way that's just diplomatic, it's smooth, it doesn't offend anybody. So I feel like I could have been more sensitive in my approach, and maybe it would have came off more clear. But what I'm saying is, everybody that's there is suffering from abuse. Point blank, period. There's no covering that up. That's obvious. And that's what I was saying last night, in a sense that has been obvious, that people there are suffering from abuse in all forms: physical, sexual, verbal, emotional, mental, psychological, financial, cultural, like in all forms. Members of carbonation are suffering from abuse. Now, what I'm saying is, now that that is very obvious and out in the open, you yourself knew before you went. Now I'm saying all that energy and all that hatred that you're turning to an outside force needs to now be fixated and focused on yourself. And ask, why did I put myself in that situation? Because you're abusing yourself, truly.
I think people use that line because it's just easy to say. No, I don't feel that. I think when you say something, you need to pay attention to your energy after you give it some time, after you put out that energy, and then just see how you feel about the man after you say what you say. Do you feel like you released? Do you feel like you want to get back with him? Or do you feel like you don't never want that nigga again? I'm pretty sure Velvet feels like she never want that nigga again, which means that she should do what she's doing until she, feels that, okay, enough is enough. And she'll get those indications. She'll get those notions. So let her speak. Let her release. That don't mean she needs to turn that to herself. It does not mean that she is spewing hate to herself. That's not hate to yourself. That, like I said, it's just something easy for people to say, because that's all they talk about. Everything you do to me, you do to you. Ain't no everything I do to you, I do to me. I don't do that to me. I don't do that to me. When I tell you you are no good and you manipulated me, that don't mean that I'm no good and I manipulated myself. No, you lied to me. You took something, you made me trust you by some actions that show that I could trust you, and then you turn out to be doing it as a tactic and a skill in order to get me to trust you. And then you lied to me, and I found out you lied to me. That don't mean I lied to myself. I thought you was telling me the truth. Now, if you keep going back and you keep putting yourself back in that situation, then we're talking about you abusing yourself. And now she is right about what she's saying. But I am going to stick to, if you need to release on a guy like Nature Boy, you need to go in on him. You need to go in. Because all that love, because Velvet was saying she care about him. She was saying she still care. That's the father of her child. She was using words like husband. And you heard me if you watched the video. I have been saying don't say that. Don't put love out words out there. Don't put those love affirmations out there to that guy. What did he do after that? He started dogging her. He started calling her weak. He used that energy, that kindness, because he's not a good person. He flips on you, and that just gives him fuel to keep beating you with his words. So no, you spew all that you need to spew. Get it out and release.
It's just simple. It's simple. It's very simple. Just really, and I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. If you really want to heal, look at yourself. Look at yourself. Why? Why? Ask yourself why. I allowed my fears. I allowed my jealousy to ignore all the pain that I was experiencing and endure this. I allowed myself this. Why? Oh, my self-esteem was low, so that's why I did this. That's why I acted out in this way.
Pause. Now, if you can think back to a time when you was young, I mean early 20s, when you was young, dumb, and full of you think back to those times. Was it that you was always insecure? Now, that is true for a lot of different reasons. A lot of different times in your life, you insecure. You act out of insecurity. You want somebody to like you and love you. You deny your morals and values. You was raised to do certain things. Your ethical codes that your mother and father instilled in you. You did things that you shouldn't have. Peer pressure put you in situations. But let's think about the other part of it. You was just young. You did not have experience, so you a fool at that. No, the tarot card, the fool. You don't know, so you end up in you like it, so you want to touch it, even though you don't know it's all that bad for you. But you touch it. You get lured into it by a person that is experienced, that does know, a person that's been beating and battering women for years, who got caught for years, so he learned how to do it a different way so that he wouldn't get caught. A skillful lie, a skillful manipulator. You get caught up, a young little lad who don't know much, who gets lured in by a devil in disguise. Of course, the man has to look kind of cute, because the devil is not going to win you if he's ugly. He's going to win you if he's sexy. So you get lured. It's not always, my point is, it's not always about you was insecure. And she throws in this jealousy thing. Let me tell you something. There's a difference between jealous and possessive. And I'm going to tell you, I am possessive too. So I don't care what you think about insecure. Ain't got nothing to do with that. Territorial. What's mine is mine. Okay? You don't put your hands on what's not yours. It's mine. Period. This thing about jealousy. You know, Velvet got into a situation where she was with one guy. This guy, Nature Boy, he lured her in. He started doing little, like he say, he played games with women. He started playing games with the young lad. He got her out of the situation with the other guy, Omek. He got her pregnant so he can keep her locked. He already did this before. This man have 3 kids before her. He's done this 3 times before, or if not more times, because he could have very well had other women pregnant. This man said he had 50 STDs, and he was at the clinic taking penicillin every week. So he is a serial STD giver. He's a serial manipulator. This man has experience. So I'm not just going to let you go over here and call this girl jealous, because it wasn't like that. She was a woman, a little girl, a young woman, pretty much a little girl, 19, who was all about agriculture. She was in college to plant, she liked to grow things. Even in that whole parable of growing, sowing seeds, she liked to put good things in the ground so that she can sprout up different things that's nutritional. She talks about all the time how she cares about humanity. She has a good heart. She got caught up by a what she call fuck nigga.